Hey, Blue. What's going on? Yeah, I put some plants in with Pigpen. Lucky, so far they're still there. They're just kind of wedged in between rocks. I added this planter also because it was kind of getting overrun by these plants. I cleaned this out some yesterday. I found I got a whole mountain of Java moss in there. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, so far he's keeping that in here, and I had to trim up some of the pothos, so there's more of that up here. I didn't have anywhere else to stick it, so I figured I would just leave it in here. But where you at? You want food? Yeah, you want some food. Surprise. Here's some pellets, because I know you're not satisfied with just one. I think that sucks. That's better. Yeah, I was gonna go live yesterday, but I saw White Tupac was live, so I just went on his panel instead. And then I saw he was kind of anxious yesterday. He was acting weird. He kept uh swimming by the plants and then kind of swimming sideways, like leaning in to look at them better. Like he's not used to the change, so he was kind of side eyeing the plants for a couple hours, and then I turned the lights out, and he was fine today. He's acting normal now. I was worried he was going to try and rearrange them because Oscars are known to do that. I filled in his little impression here like 4 or 5 times, but he keeps hollowing it out. So I just left it, and now he's got another small depression here. Hi, Kathy Rebuilds. He's good. He's just eating again. Food particles everywhere. I put some plants in there from this tank. They came unattached from the wood and rocks, and they were just floating around. So I stuck them in between a couple rocks in here, and so far he hasn't pulled them out. Kind of keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah, it's something different. I got to do something with that moss, so I'm gonna have to start hiking a little bit and finding usable pieces of driftwood, because I could cover probably a 3 foot piece of wood completely with the moss. I would just have to wrap a fishing line around it to keep it there, but it would keep growing. It grows like weeds, that shit. I could float it, but then it would make the whole tank dark. Yeah, he said he had a head start before he even turned the computer on. So, yeah, at least he gave us an hour, man. Beats the hour of doom scrolling I was doing before that. watching stupid shorts and then them weirdos for the fucking vertical lives. You find some strange ducks, man, I'll tell you. Yeah, I wanted something, twisty and interesting looking, and then the right size. And then I'm going to have to probably soak it for a month or better to make sure it sinks when I put it in here. But yeah, something like an arch, like a twisted arch would be nice. I got like the one downstairs. I got lucky with that piece of wood though. Someone was going to throw it away. I could post the link if anybody wants it too. Just say so. I did figure that out. I'm hoping some of the Vallisneria in the 40-gallon underneath will start growing because I cleared some plants out. And then when it starts to spread, I could pull some of the babies and put them in here around some of the rocks. So he can have some other plants in there. Yo, what's up, R&D? Oh. Oh. But yeah, I got a lot of the algae out of this one yesterday. I cleaned the glass half-assed, as you can see by the smudges as I move it. But you can see in there better until you hit that fucking wall of Java moss right there. But yeah, if I had some other wood to decorate, I would have plenty of moss to do it with. Yeah, all I really did was put them in there and move a couple of rocks. I added the white one here in front when I put the second plant. I don't know if you could tell on here, the plant in the back has longer, narrow leaves, and these ones will get shorter, wider leaves. So they're two separate species of the same plant. But they don't like to have their stems buried. So if you leave them tied to something, they'll put their roots into the dirt and leave the stem and the rhizome above it. But they usually die if you bury them under the substrate. I mean, I probably could though. The roots on those are both pretty long. I could bury just the roots and it would stay there, but he would be able to pull it up easier if you felt that inclined. If I built one outdoors, I would have to bring them out probably in like April, May, probably May, and then bring them back inside in September. They would be pissed off at me for that. I do want to get the 125, but when I get that, I can get another Oscar and a couple of other fish to put in it. Mainly, I just really would like to get him a tank mate. Probably try to determine what gender he is so I could get the opposite, just so I could minimize fighting. I'm not sure how two of the same sex would react to each other. I'll have to look that up a little more, I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I only got the phone to work with, so I don't have a second one to check it on. I mean, I could probably check it on the TV, but I don't want to spend all that time looking for my page. Yo, Hunter, what's up, buddy? Yeah, see how he does that? Sometimes he'll bite onto the roots and then keep swimming, and he'll move that plant around. Yeah, I could stop and go to the fucking YouTube and just do a vertical stream. I know it's kind of annoying if it's skipping. Yep. She hasn't wounded me or given me an ultimatum. Yeah, she would definitely let me know if I displeased her. Right back at you, Hunter. Well, yeah, Blue. If it's annoying, I could just go do a vertical stream. I don't know how much longer I have on StreamYard before I have to use another email anyway. But the green does, give it a little bit anyway of color in there, not just earth tones. You got to definitely get some more. I got the other light right here. I got to rearrange some of the vines, though. I don't know how happy he's going to be without a dark side if I put the other light up there, or when I put the other light up there. Oh, nice. That's cool. So do you want to go do a vertical? Is it annoying, my choppiness, or it's up to you guys. Hunter wants the link, I think. I think it's just you guys in here, so Whatever you guys want, I'll oblige. Yeah, someone was saying you gotta have the other person's email or something to send them the link. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people do it. But yeah, I'll have to look into that too. I mean, usually I don't like being on a panel with more than 4 people, and less than fucking 4 is ideal. Wondering if he wouldn't like more roots hanging down in there to swim through. Fuck. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the more people, the more over talking. Even if it's inadvertent, you don't mean it. It just fucking happens. Oh, I'm sure there's 100 YouTube videos to show me how to have a guest on a vertical stream. Yeah, we'll go vertical then, Hunter, so it's easier. I don't know. It'll only take me a minute, but yeah, I'll be back on a vertical stream. You said you're just hearing me. Blue says I'm choppy. The audio's choppy. I don't know what it sounds like on your end. Well, I could put the fucking link in there if you guys want. It's all good. Hunter said he wanted a link. Would have been a great day for laundry here. Fucking windy as hell today. Fucking piece of mealworm. There's that. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know, man. I haven't heard anything. I'm gonna probably ask Cindy. I know Cindy's okay. Ah, yeah, you got to take the nice days when they come after fucking week of rain. He had to go in for some shit for his heart. I don't know if it was surgery or what exactly. Cindy was in Pox a few days ago saying she was going to give an update on someone's live stream later on that day, but I don't watch them and I forgot who she said, so I didn't catch it. But yeah, hope he's doing okay. Not from New York, I can't, Hunter. Holy shit. I'm glad you knows it more than me, Kathy. A little greedy on that one, bud. Ah, yeah, shit, man. Blood clots are fucking scary shit, too. Oh, I just took a really big hit. I got a little bit greedy. Yeah, Kathy, as much as I hate doctors, there's something to be said, to have regular checkups. Especially after a certain age. Shit, 8 years. I don't think we could go 8 days without doing laundry. Yeah, I got a little over ambitious. Not long ago, I had to get a disposable vape for the weed vape, and it had a really short hit time on it. And I got kind of used to it, and then I went back to what I usually use, and that's a 15-second hit time. And I try to get a blinker every time, and 15 seconds sometimes is a little too long. But if I didn't drop my other pen into the fucking water bucket when I was doing fish tank maintenance, I would have had my old fucking pen, and that's perfect. That's a 10 second, and you don't have to hold the button or nothing. I don't know, man. Clothes can get expensive these days. Yeah, yeah. You're paying like 45 bucks for a a t-shirt in that case, Hunter. None of my old band shirts fit me anymore. I got fat. But I was still wearing my high school shirts well into my 30s, the ones that I had left. Yeah, I could do that. Most of them are pretty worn out and beat up, but I still have a couple that are in good shape. I think I got the Allman Brothers 35th anniversary and the 40th anniversary still. If it's not that, it's the 30th and 35th anniversary. Well, okay, Hunter. It's good to be aware of such things. Yeah, definitely good information to have, Blue. What exactly, though, uh, is irritating, so we can exaggerate it and make it more fun for us. Oh, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm gonna make it fucking worse. I don't know, it's something fucking broken in me, I think. I've always wanted to make it worse. Yep, see, he's grabbing it and pulling on the fucking roots. He's trying to move it. Oh yeah, there are still two small versions of those plants I need to put somewhere. I almost forgot about it until I saw him just move one. Where's the other one? That one, the other one's a little smaller. Yo, Colt 49ers, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Does Colt owe you does Colt owe you some catfish, Blue? Yeah, we're all entitled to be grumpy sometimes. He said he's tired too. That would make me grumpy. Especially if I didn't have any weed or anything to adjust my attitude. I'd definitely be a grumpy bastard. I wouldn't even be able to stand my own company. Open admission to flapper kissing, Hunter. Yeah, he's trying to move the fucking plant. You don't like it there, dude? Maybe put it back on the front side. Oh, right there's the second one, you fucking blind bastard. That one's pretty big, actually. You probably know more than you let on, Hunter. Oh, the fish, yeah, he makes his own fucking fun, I guess. I'm thinking I might get or maybe I'll have to separate a piece off of my peace lily and just make a little floating planter, because that's an upright plant that'll grow fairly straight up. So if I give it a good stable floating planter, he should, you know, the roots will come out of it eventually, and he'll be able to tug it around the tank at will. But the pothos is a vine, and it'll end up fucking dying if it's completely submerged. Which is why I ended up cutting some off of the other tank and putting it in here for right now, because a lot of the leaves were being submerged and they turned to mush. I'm thinking a small, like 4-inch pot with a little peace lily growing out of it, because they like to be wet. So I could definitely put one in here. But I did try glow in the dark ping pong balls, and he wasn't interested in those. But yeah, he does. Like I said before, I'll come turn the light on, and the pothos will be in the middle of the tank in the water, and I try to keep it above the water on the center brace. But yeah, like he'll pull it around and leave it wherever the hell he wants. That's kind of why I left the other couple of Nubius floating around in there. If he wants to grab them and swim around with them, they'll float right back up to the top. Yeah, I think him wanting a good root, in another sense of the word, is why he's making little hollow spots. But I haven't even looked up if that's male or female breeding behavior. He shouldn't be old enough yet. But I don't know. So I've never been interested in breeding them, so I didn't really look too deeply into that part of it. I don't want to end up with 100 baby Oscars looking for a home. Fuck, even 20 baby Oscars looking for a home. Yeah, I mean, they like to disturb shit and move stuff around, so they don't recommend anything. Certain kinds of plants they don't recommend at all. But I'm gonna try a few in strategic locations, and hope that he can't pull them out. But the Anubias, these ones that are in there, I could put right back, because they're not attached to anything. They're not permanent really. The roots haven't had time. I just put them in there yesterday. The roots haven't had time to establish into the fucking soil, the sand. But yeah, I think the floating thing he might fuck with, because with the roots hanging out, something he can grab and pull around, vent his frustrations on. But there he is. You see, he's pulling it. It's in his mouth. But yeah, I'm thinking he'll keep doing that until it becomes dislodged. I got it wedged because it's in a floating thing under the brace. Shit, Hunter, if you were close, I got a mini fridge in the fucking garage. I give you could put it in the living room next to the couch. You wouldn't have to go. You can bring the source to the couch. Yeah, I think he is over there planning because he does. I don't know how well you can see it. He turns right around and then he looks back. Yeah, it's kind of dark. He'll look back and then he'll swim over casually and then he'll grab it and fucking start swimming around. Yeah, trying to figure out if, how exactly how much force he's got to put in so he doesn't have to waste any energy. Hi, Queen. Of course, the fish is sulking in the dark. But you could probably see the plants I put in there better than on Pox last night with the little bitty screen. He's inching his way back over. All nonchalant and shit. Like, oh, I'm not going to do nothing. Turn around. I'm trying, Hunter. The fish has me all anxious and shit. Yeah. He's like, because he can turn around pretty quick for his size. He might just decide to sneak attack it so it doesn't know he's coming. I know he scared the shit out of me the other night. I turned the tank lights out, and then I went to turn the other. I usually turn the other plant lights out, but he came up to the glass and was like fucking looking for food real hard. So I threw a couple of mealworms in there after I turned his light off, and he hit the water hard. It sounded like fucking hooking a bass, like splash. I was like, what the fuck? I got up, I came back over, and I turned the lights back on, and I'm looking, and there he is looking at me like, what? But whatever splash he made, it was contained in the tank. There was no water on anything, but definitely made a noise. Made me turn around and turn the fucking light back on. But I caught a good look at the catfish that, one of the two that live under this rock. I thought the biggest one lived under here on the other side, but no, there's one under here that's half again as big as the one that lives on the right side of the tank. That's the one that doesn't like to come out much. I threw some food in, and you could see him try to fucking just put enough of his body out of the hole under the rock to get the food. It was fucking hilarious. But he's pretty big. Yeah, I did think he jumped out for a second. I didn't hear nothing flopping, though. He's definitely big enough to make a lot of noise if he hit the floor. or something else. Like he would knock stuff off of the shelf that's right next to the fish tank if he hit anything on it. Be like a domino effect. Something would fall. But yeah, and it didn't sound like it didn't thump after. So, but it was definitely a good splash. I mean, the little 3-inch Corridora can shoot a little spitball of water out of there. And, you know, about 2 or 3 feet out of the tank, they'll come up and turn quick and slap the underside of the surface with their tail and throw water out. I've been hit in the eye when it was in the, you know, in place of Pigpen's tank. It was up here before I got this. But yeah, you'd walk by and you'd get fucking wet. Yeah, the two of them come out. One is out at least around the rocks frequently, and the other one goes and he's there now. He likes to hang out up against the glass next to the heater. But yeah, the one that lives under this flat rock right there, he just likes to stay under there unless it's dark. Every time I go into the pet store to get food for the fish, I look at what fish they have, and I'm looking at the guppies and shit, and they only have males because they're prettier and they sell faster. So if I wanted to breed guppies to feed to him, I would have to probably mail order at least females. I could get, 2 or 3 males from the pet store, and then get six or 8 females from a breeder. But I don't know if I want to get into that at the moment. I'm trying to figure out a spot to put the 40 so I don't have to clean it on my knees or sitting on the floor. I'm too old to get back up. It hurts. That's good. Got to do another vacuuming on this thing tomorrow. Swear to fuck, man, this thing is the most maintenance. The other 2 tanks that have fish are like not having to maintain anything compared to this guy. Once they were set up and established. But I'm limited on bottom dwellers for this guy because he could he can eat most of the things I could put in there to stir things around. Oh, I'm sure there's some sensation that he gets. I know. I mean, he gets itchy. I've seen him rub against the rocks a little here and there, real gentle like. But I mean, it's got to feel good to scratch an itch. But yeah, he'll rub against the bamboo too, which is kind of leaning a little bit from him rubbing on it, going back over to the dark side. But I gotta still figure out how to put some kind of attachment point, like a piece of string or something, to keep it from being pushed all the way over. But yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, especially since it's a pretty bare bones tank. That's why I like a piece of driftwood too. Just something else for him to interact with, swim around, under, over, through. I mean, that's what I'm assuming he was doing. Yeah, I haven't seen him do it a whole lot, but I have seen him rub up against like this flat rock, the flat front edge of that rock, because it's kind of textured, but it's not pointy. So he finds what's comfortable, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have, touch receptors, pain receptors. I also wonder if he swims through slowly through the roots like that to see if it helps with camouflage or something. Uh, but who knows what he's thinking? You are getting big, dude. Christ's sake. I've seen uh, social media posts of two fish this big in this size tank, but it just doesn't look like they're very happy. I mean, other than him looking bored, he doesn't look dissatisfied with the digs. I mean, when I was a kid and I first saw Oscars, everybody recommended a 55-gallon tank or a 60-gallon breeder, which is basically the size of this, which is 3 foot, but it would be 18 inches across, and it would be a little bit deeper than that, but that's 16 inches deep. It would be, I think, 2 foot or 30 inches. And that's a foot shorter than this for one Oscar. And I think that's what my buddy had his in when I saw it, was just like a 70-gallon or 60-gallon rather. And then a few years ago, everybody's saying, "Oh, at least a 75," and I'm like, "Well, a 75 for one fish would probably be all right for uh, a while, but I wouldn't want to keep, a fish that's, if it gets over a foot long, I wouldn't want to keep them in this. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting some guppies for feeder fish. What's going on, Munchichi? But guppies are pretty fish. I got a 55 downstairs, or I got that 75 long that I could put a bunch of that grass, the Vallisneria in, and a couple dozen fucking minnow or guppies. It would look sweet. Yeah, man, tank heaters are sketchy. I check mine all the time to make sure it ain't running hot and shit. Same thing with the snake. So the heating pads and all that stuff, you got they get really hot, so it's good to have a thermostat on those. I have one that's got a thermostat built into it, but to have an external one would be nice. I'm pretty sure I could use the same kind as the snakes. I might have to get a different end, but yeah, you could fucking electrify them, real microwave the motherfuckers right in the tank. That sketches me out a lot too. Most of the tanks I laid them vertically a couple inches off the bottom so I could do water changes and not have to worry about unplugging it so it doesn't crack. Because if they take them out of water while they're plugged in, you got a very good chance of it breaking, and you could not notice a crack and put it back in there. Next thing you know, you're fucking electrocuting the fish and maybe yourself if you stick your fucking hand in there. But yeah, those are the sketchiest part. It's really, other than like some kind of bare wire, the only thing that could really fucking instantly kill your fish tank. Yeah, swordtails are, I think, a type of guppy or another type of live bearing fish, like an endler or something. But yeah, they're cool little fish, and they come in a lot of cool colors, so you could get a cool little school of fish going. Yeah, they still pretty much look like that, but uh, they're made with more durable shit and stuff. They're a little bit safer than they used to be, but it's still one of those things that's the most what ifs, as far as the electrical equipment that you got to use. I'm bad because when I do the water changes on him, I unplug it so it's not out of the water while it's on at all, because I take a good chunk of water out and about 6 inches of it is exposed to air. I'm bad about plugging it back in. I don't know, fucking the other couple, well, actually, not since it happened, but I forgot to plug it back in one time, and I went like 3 or 4 days, and I reached my hand in to feel the water or to get something, and it was cold. I'm like, what the fuck? And I noticed the outlet where the fucking heater is plugged in was empty. Yeah, you got to have cover for them. You can make a little, they call it a spawning mop, just out of like acrylic yarn, and a fucking pool float and a zip tie. But a lot of fish will use them too. Actually, most fish you can use them for to help give the little ones somewhere to hide. In the 70 gallon, I had that Vallisneria in there, and before it started to leak, that shit took over. Like, I had to trim that every fucking 2 weeks to be able to see the fish, and that's just like grass. It gets really really long, and it'll like float along the surface. Once it reaches the surface, it'll just keep growing and cover the whole top of the tank. But it carpeted the whole tank, so I'd have to cut the front down so I could see the other plants and give them light and the fish. But a bunch of that shit is how the Corridors bred in that tank, and I've seen them both sets and both tanks have laid eggs. And they both got a lot of cover. The 70 gallon before it sprang a leak is the only one that I found a baby and that actually survived. And when I moved him, he was in there. And it was like, what the fuck is that? It's too fast to be a snail. And then I let the water calm down a little bit, and I really took a good look, and it was a little baby half-inch fish. But that was 100%, I think, due to that Vallisneria being so thick. Lots of places for a little one to get away from the other fish that could eat it. But you could make one too. But I'm not really trying to breed any major numbers of fish. If I was doing the guppies, though, I would definitely keep one of those spawning mops in there or plant a whole bunch of that Vallisneria. I mean, because one will eat the ones as they're coming out of the mother, or another fish will. Yeah, some of gouramis do that too. But yeah, I wanted to get Alley Cat a beta fish, but she don't want to crowd her nightstand. And there's really nowhere like on the counter in the kitchen to put a small fish tank. But they're cool fish. I like the betta fish. Do you think someone on YouTube is going to throw you some food? I just gave you some food. What are you doing, dude? Now you're eyeballing me from over there. Yeah, yep. He was just ragging the roots of that plant there that are hanging down. He'd grab a mouthful and take off across the tank, trying to dislodge it. I got it wedged up under the brace. It's got a little pool noodle floaty thing, and I just wedged it against the back and the center brace. Let the water pressure push it up and keep him from being able to move it too easily. But if he is determined, it'll end up in the middle of the tank, and I'll have to put it back tomorrow morning. But I'm surprised he hasn't moved those plants that I put in there yesterday. They're just wedged in there, and he could, if he wanted to, just move them pretty easy, I think. He seemed pretty distrusting of the fuckers yesterday. He kept swimming by and looking at them funny. He seemed to come to grips with it overnight. He was fine with them this morning, but yeah, he kept over on the dark side, and then he would swim over and kind of turn sideways with one eye down toward the plant and swim slowly over the plant, and then he'll swim next to it and kind of turn a little bit too. I was like, what the fuck, dude? It's just a couple plants. It ain't like I put him in a spot he hangs out at a lot, you know? He doesn't ever just chill on the rocks right there. I'm like, come on, fucker. Where's that? Right there. That's right there. Oh. Oh man, 7:42. Where you at over there, dude? Yeah, I forget that fucking canister filter's plugged in. Fucking sponge, the intake sponge kind of makes it hard to see past. Yeah, he's fucking staying over there up against the back, and it's dark. Prick. Yeah, he goes over in the dark, forms a strategy, a plan of execution, and then he goes for it. Here he comes, nonchalant, acting like he's not up to something. Now we're all staring at you again. Oh. I really should probably turn those lights off. Oh, dude, I was watching Monchichi that last, well, I don't know what was the last one, but it was yesterday or the day before. That fucking cross piece you were turning turned out badass. That shit's amazing. You could turn that fucking piece of wood into what you made it. It's awesome. Definitely an envious talent, man. Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta go get a drink. Oh, that's badass, dude. Yeah, I've seen some of the other glow in the dark stuff. That shit is cool as fuck. Hell yeah. And to just see it before and then after, it's like, holy shit. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Just some lemonade, man. No alcohol for me. What's up, Bella? Yeah, Pac was trying to say I had some vodka in there last night. No, if I was drinking, I wouldn't be on YouTube probably. I said just drinking some lemonade. No alcohol for me. Last night, Pac thought I was drinking lemonade with vodka in it, and I told him I wouldn't be online if I was drinking. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even like me when I'm drunk, so it wasn't worth. It wasn't worth continuing. Yeah, dude. Fuck Charlie Horses is right. I remember I got up to go to the bathroom one night, and fucking went to stand up, and almost went right on the floor. I was like, fuck. Try not to swear and wake up the little lady. Hey, Goth, what's up, buddy? And trying to walk the Charlie horse off. Fucking woke her up anyway. But yeah, fuck Charlie horses, man. Why are you so restless, fella? Oh, nice. Definitely have to check that out. Billy just came back upstairs. Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. Always nice to have somewhere cool to hang out on YouTube. Cool spots are few and far between. Yeah, everybody's so caught up in bullshit. It's like, ugh. Nice. Hell yeah. But yeah, there's not very many fucking places. Some places I go in for 10 minutes, shoot the shit a little bit, and just split because shit gets fucking. Shit starts flying quick. Yeah, mine. She's got cataracts really fucking bad. I think she can basically see shapes and differentiate between light and dark at best. Which is why we don't trust her around the fucking stairs anymore. She still navigates around the yard good and shit, so she's not hurting herself. But yeah. Yeah, she's fucking 20 years old, man. I think April is her birthday. So if she makes it to April, she'll be 21. Just fucking amazing to me. I've generally had big dogs. We don't generally get fucking that many years out of a big dog. My last big dog was not quite 15 when he died, but he was close. I was surprised at that. I was surprised at fucking when he turned 12. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Everybody wants to fight with somebody. No one wants to fucking take a joke as a joke. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. That was almost bad. Ugh, almost took a fucking nosedive. Bent down to pick up the blanket for the dog and fucking lost my balance. Fuck. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, there's too much bullshit to worry about in just everyday life. Why anyone would want to come on here and fabricate shit just to bitch about, like, when there's enough shit going on in real life. Yeah, that's what my grandfather used to say on Chi-Chi. He would tell someone when they got upset over something he was fucking joking with, he would tell them, fuck you if you can't take a joke. You know? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself, you got no fucking business laughing at anybody else. I mean, fucking saying shit to this one about that one. And then telling another one about what those ones said. It's just Jesus fucking Christ, man. Well, I'm not looking for normal. I'm just not looking for fucking loony bin fucking crazy, you know? Average, you know, amounts of lunacy is all right, but, you know, when you got like fucking 15 psychological disorders, yeah, and I don't want to hang out with you. Yeah, dude, like that's how we built a thick skin, you know? Yeah, I've seen a lot of weird, stupid shit like that too. It's like, God fucking damn. Uh, you you gotta watch scrolling through the fucking shorts and shit, dude. Yeah, you run across some really weird fucking shit. I've seen a couple of ladies that were probably in their late 40s, early 50s with these really expensive dolls that look and feel like a fucking actual baby. And they just treat it like a bit like you don't think you're fucking crazy? Jesus Christ. And you're online with a bunch of other crazy bitches that are doing the same thing. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know when it switched from you know, you could put your friends down and shit talk them to, oh no, you'll hurt their feelings, but we don't hang out with them. We could fucking shit talk them instead. Yeah, yeah, probably is, Monchichi. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Always worth making a new friend. A friend with weed is a friend indeed, man. Yeah, he is pretty temperamental too, kind of, but I guess that's to be expected. Yeah, he gets up and mean mugs the phone every now and then. I don't know if he sees the camera lenses or what, but thinks their eyes looking at him. But he comes up and kind of gets in the camera every now and again. It's pretty funny. Oh yeah, yeah. People generally, I don't even fucking tell them that. I just, I just be me, you know. Like I was hanging out with my cousins one night, and this woman walks in that looks like a defensive lineman. And my cousin goes, "Yo, Nick, that's Troy. That's Troy's new girlfriend." Now, Troy is my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law. And she heard Nick say that, and she stopped as she was walking by. And I'm like, well, I said, the motherfucker traded the bulldog for a water buffalo or something like that. And she goes, what did you say? I said, your boyfriend traded up from a bulldog to a water buffalo. And she's like, you calling me water buffalo? I'm like, well, my sister's the bulldog, so yeah, you're the fucking water buffalo. And she's like, I ain't no water buffalo. And I told her, you got to stop lying, because I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the fucking world, but I know a water buffalo when I fucking see one. Yeah, I should get that on a little fucking recorder or something. Dun 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 dun. But shit, yeah, he's had a couple of a couple of winners. I was shit talking him one day, just fucking with him. We'd go back and forth, and his new girlfriend said something, and I'm like, listen, can you do me a favor? She's like, what? I said, do your best to walk out in front of a fucking garbage truck or something today. Just go somewhere. Fucking ugh. But he's not the smartest fucking dude either. So I mean, he did marry my sister. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Shit. Yeah, life's too short to take every fucking little slight and insult personally, especially when it's not designed to fucking be an insult or to offend you. I think the problem is the level of comedians that we got after, Richard Pryor and George Carlin, fucking Red Fox, Sam Kinison, uh, fucking like in the 90s, the late 90s, it just got shitty. And then everything else went with it. Like MTV stopped playing fucking music videos. The comedians got soft. Yeah, Eddie Murphy, fucking Bill Hicks, the fuck was that other guy's name? It's always on the tip of my tongue. Mitch Hedberg. There's a lot of good fucking comedians in the 80s, 70s and 80s. But yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, you couldn't make like Benny Hill could not make that show today. Most of Mel Brooks's shit you couldn't make today. Definitely not Blazing Saddles. Yeah, All in the Family, Archie, or fucking the Jeffersons. I mean, you could probably do the Jeffersons today. They would let that slide, I'm sure. But yeah, you couldn't do an Archie Bunker today. Chico and the Man. Fuck, different strokes probably wouldn't go over that well. They took the whole, yeah, they would have to tone it down. They took the whole PC shit in the mid 90s way too seriously and then kept running with it, and it just ruined everything. Like there's exceptions, but like fuck, man, not everything needs to be politically correct. Motherfucker. Yeah, I have. Yep. Shit, some they don't even fucking show anywhere anymore. Hi, Spirit. How are you, sweetie? Yeah, I put some plants in there with him, and he hasn't tore them out yet. They've only been in there a day, though. So I'm still hoping he don't take a disliking to them and decide he doesn't want them there anymore. I have a couple other ones I can put in there, too, floating around in the tank right now. But I'm seeing how they go before I decide where I'm going to put them. Oh, Jesus, I can imagine, Blue. Jesus Christ. Well, I hope you get good news back. Emergency vet visits are always scary, especially if you're stuck at home wondering, just like having a baby at the vet, not at the vet, at the emergency room. Fuck, I had to take my son into the emergency room a few years ago for his asthma, and they just couldn't get it under control. And they had to take him by ambulance from our local hospital to a hospital in another county, the next county over. And then before I could even drive, because I was grabbing clothes because I knew they were probably going to keep him overnight and I wasn't going to let him stay there alone. Before I even grabbed clothes and got to the second hospital, they were taking him to Westchester County, down closer to New York City. So I had to drive 2 hours to Westchester, and then we stayed there for like 4 days. But that beat the shit out of worrying at home. Hi, Brooklyn, babe. Yeah, they better be. Yeah, I never had a dog let me down in my life. Some people think I'm a little bit nuts, but like I'll let them know. Like if you don't like dogs, you just probably shouldn't come to my house. Oh, I definitely will, Kathy. I don't trust anybody my dog doesn't like. Uh, my big dog Bud, the dog I had when my son was born, would death stare anyone that held my son except me and his mother. My sister was dating a Jamaican guy, Greg, and he was really dark skinned, and my dog is not very familiar with lots of people in general, but no black people. And he could walk right into my house and pick my kid up, and my dog was fine with him. And as soon as within 5 minutes of coming in my house, he was holding my kid, and my dog was acting like I was holding my kid. So I told my sister she better marry that guy because she'll never find a boyfriend that I'll trust as much as I trust Greg. And even now, they haven't been together in years, but me and him are still friends. I even offered to marry him to get him a green card when he got sent back to Jamaica, but he didn't want to do a gay wedding because it would disappoint his grandmother. But yeah, my dog loved that guy, so I love that guy. My dog didn't fucking like anybody. First, he was a big dog, and dude wasn't afraid of him, and knew how to act. So he had experience. You know, his dad always had Rottweilers or Dobermans, so he knew how to act around a big dog. But he had no ill intentions either. He's one of the best human beings I ever met. My dog knew that right away. Yeah, no, and if you're not scared, because like he didn't give a fuck if you acted scared. It didn't matter what color you were. The only people he did not like off the bat were cops. I don't know what it is about uniform, but he started barking at a sheriff one day, and the guy pats his gun. He's like, "Oh yeah, dog, I bite back." And I looked at the cop who's just across the street from me. I said, "My money's on him biting first, though." And the cop's smile went away from his face. He's like, "You're probably right." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm right." He'll cross that street in one fucking bound, dude, and then he's on you. What are you gonna do? And if you go for your gun, I'm probably gonna jump on you. So, but yeah, he just did not like cops. But I think he probably would have acted like that to the UPS guy too. Yeah, uniforms in general. Hell yeah, man. That's the important shit, Goth. You know, it's all in how they get treated. I had a friend. She raised her three kids with a female American bulldog, and like she couldn't yell at her kids. She couldn't point her finger at her kids because the dog would jump up, grab her arm as gently as she could, and like bring her down to her level and look her in the face and be like, "You ain't fucking touching those kids." But the mailman had a box that wouldn't fit in the mailbox out on the post where the gate was for the yard. And the dog would not leave the yard if the kids were in it, but the mailman opened the fucking gate and came into the yard. And then he shut the gate. He walked past the two little girls and the boy, and he was like 2, so that was like 2, 6, and 10, I think they were, or 8. And he stopped to say something to the kids, and the dog was on him. But I don't know how she avoided getting the dog fucking seized after that, but fucking she had to have all kinds of signs and make sure the dog was on a chain when when she was out with the kid. But yeah. The fact that my dog stayed at the house when me and my kid's mother broke up was the only reason I could sleep at night, because I knew nobody was going to fuck around with that dog in the house. And no one was going to fuck around with my kid with the dog in the house either. Because if he started crying, he would come through the fucking wall if he had to. But yeah, I love dogs. Yeah. Yeah. And dogs that are natural, it's like people get fucking dogs that are meant to fuck shit up if left on their own. For this fish tank goth, I made it. I got a couple of pumps over here to pump the water into a window box flower pot that's 3 feet long, and the sponges and stuff that cleans the gunk out of the water is up there, and then all the biological media that houses the beneficial bacteria is in that, and then it drains back out over there out of that PVC. But the other ones up here are Fluval. The hang on the back filters on this are just Fluval. Hang on the back. There's a 70 and a 20, I think. And then downstairs, I forget. I think it's a Marineland 110 on the 70. Yeah, most of it's just filtering out the solids, which there are still some that are still on the floor, but the majority of it gets sucked up. It's a lot of sponge and polyfill for cleaning the solids out. So yeah, it's pretty good. For my first time ever making one from parts, it does pretty good. And I had to do an overhead sump, which is the type of filter that I made because I don't have room underneath to put another fish tank and make a regular sump because I got the 40 gallon down there. But that's pretty easy to maintain. I do want to switch out those two pumps for one bigger one, but they'll do the job for now. How are they dicks, Munchichi? Yeah, there's all kinds of different ways you can make it. I tried to do the simplest, most straightforward way I could with minimal money invested. The pumps cost like $45 for the two of them, and the plant thing was 15. I had the hoses, spent $5 on them angle connector things, but yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot on it. Yeah, we saw a fucking Great Dane. This little skinny lady was walking him, and he was almost fucking shoulder to shoulder with her. She was like 5 feet tall. This guy had to be about 4 feet to the shoulder. He was a big fucking dog. Yeah, I couldn't just bring shit home. We generally had a dog and a cat. As far as exotic shit, we had guinea pigs and rabbits too, here and there. A couple of mice, hamsters, and shit. But as far as like lizards and snakes, I had to work to contribute to bills for the heat and the light. But they were pretty good. As soon as I was working, they didn't care what I brought home. If the shit for the lizards and stuff wasn't expensive, I'm sure uh, my old man would have got me would have got me a lizard a long time before I actually did get one. But he didn't want to hear his wife's mouth. And yeah, even she wasn't very happy that I had a lizard and a snake in the house. But the lizard was the one that worried her because he was fast. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, my kid, his mother wanted to get him shit like that after we split up, and I'm like, you don't have the single slightest fucking clue what you're doing, you know? Oh well, you can come over and set it up for him. I'm like, yeah, but it's not just setting it up, dude. It's maintaining it. Like he's fucking 4 years old. He's not gonna be able to clean that shit himself. So they got him a bearded dragon, they got him a Pac-Man frog, and I'm like, you really got a 4-year-old kid this kind of pet right now? Like you. And every time I would go over there, I would be like, well, dude, because she knew I wouldn't let him sit in filth, so me and him would clean the fucking things when I'd go see him. But yeah, I had a leopard gecko for about 4 years that she didn't want to take care of anymore. She got it because she thought the kids would like it, and they didn't want to take care of it. So she's like, "Oh, will you take it?" So I took it, gave it a bigger tank to live in, and regular food and water. I mean, it was probably old when she brought it home, but how do the ferrets and the polecats get along with the cats? Pretty good. I think I like ferrets, but they're kind of hit and miss with my girlfriend. They're kind of the perfect cross between a snake and a mammal. Yeah, yeah, definitely got to teach them to wash their hands after fucking with it and shit, dude. But yeah, like I said, she counted on the fact that I had some experience and knew that I wouldn't let the animal suffer. So yeah, his maintenance happened when I would go visit, once a week. But yeah, I'm like, dude, come on, you can't possibly expect them to be taking fair. Oh, I'm sure they do. I was really close to getting one time. He was almost solid black. He just had a little bit of markings on his belly, like the lighter color on his belly and around his eyes. But really dark little bastard. And he was the most personable one at the pet store. I'm like, man, I could bring you home. I could bring you home. But yeah, the ex wasn't a big fan of ferrets, which is weird because it's like a cross between a snake and a cat. She liked cats. Oh, here he goes. Yep, he moved it. He pulled it out from underneath the fucking brace. Almost all the way. It'll be in the bottom of the, or in the middle of the fish tank by morning, probably. Yeah, he's been trying to move that plant from where I put it. It used to be at the front right here, but I had to put more, I had to cut this from down in that tank so it wouldn't be sitting underwater and just rotting. You can see it was starting. There's a hole in the leaf there with some black spots. So I put it up here and I moved that one to the back, and he doesn't like it there. Yeah, he's been going back and forth, BB, acting like he's not up to nothing, then coming back and then swimming around like he's not doing nothing, and then he'll grab it and try to move it. And I think he ripped off a couple of roots I got to take out of there. Yeah, ferrets are badass, man. I watch a guy called the Mink Man that uses fucking God damn it, mink. He uses the mink to fucking mink and dogs to kill rats. It's pretty fucking cool. A few years ago, he was training an Argus monitor lizard to do the same thing, but he gave up on it and gave the lizard to another YouTuber. I'm sure. Yeah, he is pretty, BB. I got lucky. I thought he was going to lose a lot of his color, but the pattern just broadened out and brightened up. But yeah, every time I go into the pet store for something, I stop and look at the new batch of Oscars, and they've had some really good looking ones in there, but I don't have a big enough tank to have two, so I gotta wait. I don't mind. Yeah, he really does. And he's getting big, man. He's got to be 9 inches long now and thick. It's hard to believe he was as small as he was when I brought him home. Like, he looked like a big fish in that, or a little fish in that little tank, you know? And then I put him in this, and it was like he was a baby all over again, but he was 6 inches long. Oh, no shit, man. We got an orange cat. He adopted us, but he's been the best cat I ever had, dude. He don't get on the countertop. He don't get on the table. He don't fuck with plants. He just comes in, he eats, he gets love when he wants it, he sleeps whenever the fuck he wants. Yeah. But you gotta cut the human food. He'll eat chicken or a piece of meat, but that's about it. He'll steal the dog's wet food and vice versa if we let that shit happen. But yeah, he's a pretty good cat. I mean, he's quiet. When he fucking came in the house behind me, I didn't even realize he was in the house. I walked all the way down the hallway about 12 feet, 15 feet, and then into the living room. And my stepson's like, hey, where'd that cat come from? And I'm like, what cat? And there he was. And he stayed for about 2 years. He was in and out. He would come by every couple of weeks, get fed, stay for a day or two, and then he'd split. And then my kid came home one day and said, hey, Dad, I know where the cat's going. The guy up around the corner has a little heated cat house outside because his fucking cat won't come indoors. And our cat goes and hangs out with him inside, and he feeds him and shit. So he just hangs out there. And then the little girl across the street, he went into her house and he was staying there. So he was jumping between the three places for about 2 years. The guy thought he was just a stray. I'm like, he had a collar on and a little air tag that ended up fucking dying or something. We couldn't track him anymore. But yeah, he ended up getting fixed as a stray because the guy was catching up strays. I used to have a cat that would sit up on my shoulder and just sit there like I was a shelf. She wouldn't lay. She would sit there, and if a moth or something came into the house, it was a vantage point for her to jump and try to catch it. But she wasn't a lay around and love on you type of cat. She would come around, get on your lap like once a day maybe for 5 minutes, get, all the pets she wants, and then she'd be a fucking terrorist the rest of the time. But she was a very cool cat. I liked that cat. Yeah. Yeah, my fucking boss, about 15 years ago, just before I met Alley Cat. So 12 years ago, actually I was working for them when I met her, but he had beagles and he got a fucking, he was tired of chasing his beagle. They were hunting dogs too. The slightly taller, I think the 16-inch beagle, they're hunting dogs. And he was tired of having to fucking keep, running around the neighborhood. And the neighborhood is farm country, so they could be 5 miles down the fucking road 3 days from now. But they would get out all the time. So we put an invisible fence up, and he trained them to use the fence. But they knew that once they got past that thing, the shocks stop. So the first night he left them out, they weren't out there in the morning. He thought he heard a couple of boo, and didn't think nothing of it. Thought they might have saw something. But no, they got through the invisible fence and they ran around for 3 days. And on the third night, he's sitting at home watching the news, and he hears them both outside barking to get in, but they're at the edge of the yard. They won't cross the fence to get back in the yard, but they'll take the shock to get out of the yard. Fuck, my little dog Rubble will start barking if you talk to someone and not pay him any attention. Yeah, Malinois, yeah. You got the hairy Houdini of dogs right there. I worked for a dude that had two border collies that he kept in the house. And then he had like a 20-foot by 40-foot like dog run for them to be in. And that was their life. I'm like, dude, you got dogs that are smart. I'm betting they're fucking higher IQ than you are. You're gonna have problems. And he did. They dug holes through the linoleum in the kitchen, pissed all over the place. They dug out. They tried to dig out through the sheetrock of the mudroom. They tried to put them out there when they were having dinner in the kitchen, which I don't know how they did. It smelled like fucking straight ammonia in that bitch. But they were tearing shit up. And I'm like, you can't keep a fucking dog like that as a house pet like this. You got to give them something to do to burn out that energy and to use their brain, you know? Oh, no, man, they're just dogs. No, dude, they're not just dogs. They're very smart, independent dogs that need something to focus on, not tearing your shit up. That's what they're focused on right now. But we went in there to rip up the linoleum and replace it. Oh my fucking God. Three of us, we couldn't be in there more than like 3 to 5 minutes. You just couldn't breathe. Even with your face covered and shit, we had to get respirators to do that. And then once we got all the linoleum out, he's like, "Well, you guys go take lunch. Me and my wife will clean up and get the piss smell out of here and something else." And yeah, they put cleaners and water on. It just made it worse. It was so fucking bad. So they got 1/4 inch Luan, and we screwed down plywood, 1/4 inch plywood on the floor, and laid new linoleum over that. But the smell was just buried underneath, man. It was so fucking gross. Oh. But you can't expect to have dogs like that and be able to leave them in your kitchen with nothing to do. I mean, fuck. I tiled the bathroom for a lady who was a breeder, and she had a flock of ducks, like 30 ducks that she kept, and she would let the dogs fucking herd the ducks. And that's how she trained them to herd sheep, too, and started them on the ducks. But yeah, they're smart. And just a whistle and a hand movement get so much out of them if you train them, you know, and they're easy to train because that's what they want to do. Yeah, some shouldn't have any pets of any kind. I rented a house from a lady. I had a turtle, I had the snake, 3 dogs, and a cat, I think. And she's like, "Oh, that's kind of a lot of pets." And then I went down to her house to do some work for her at her house, and I found a dead fucking crested gecko behind the entertainment center. It was skeletonized. It was just white bones. And I'm like, well, you know, you had to have some kind of maggot or something on that to get it that clean. And she's like, "Oh, we've been looking for that for like 6 months." Jesus fucking Christ, lady. But she had horses. She had a pony that would walk in and out of the kitchen. I'm like, "Does that thing ever shit on the floor?" She goes, "Sometimes." I'm like, "And you're cool with it just walking in the fucking house?" It's a pony, lady. It ain't like the fucking neighbor's dog. It's a full fucking pony. It's a Shetland pony. Uh, but yeah, she was a crazy bitch, man. I didn't stay there very fucking long. Bragging about her thoroughbred horses, and they were all like skinny, like I, I don't know what you paid for them, but you're neglecting them, and it's a waste of your fucking money. But yeah, she had goats and the horses, the pony. She had like 4 or 5 horses. The pony just walked around the yard with the goats, the 3 goats that she had. But yeah, that lady was out of her fucking mind. She had like 5 dogs, a couple barn cats, a couple house cats, which they kind of were both, all of them, about 10 cats total. But I'm like, "You're telling me I had too many pets, lady. I had 2 that are in glass boxes, and the dogs, and the fucking cat just hangs out in the living room. Like, you got a fucking menagerie here, and not very well kept one either." But yeah, she was showing me the new crested geckos. Her 3 kids each had to have one. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. But my ex is one of them kind of people too. She got to have 2 dozen cats at her house right now. 5 or 6 dogs. I know she's got a ferret. Some tarantulas. A cockatoo. I don't know what all else, but she's got a lot of shit there, man. What the fuck? Well, that's bullshit, Blue. Oh, yeah. Chickens will eat anything, man. I used to buy weed from a guy that had a turkey as like a guard dog. Oh, Jesus Christ, Blue. Oh, well, shit, dude. If if a hen dies, the chickens will fucking pick at it. Yeah, that is fucking unbelievable. It's not anything you want to hear. Yeah. Okay. What the fuck? Ah, Jesus Christ, Blue. Yeah, that's terrible. Fuck, my heart breaks for you, Blue. The old dog smells the chicken. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Spirit. We love you, sweetie. Yeah, I know most of us are dog people, so like, yeah, we definitely empathize and sympathize with you. Nobody likes having to go through that and then have help fucking turned away because they're full. That's ridiculous, man. That's one good thing I've noticed out here. There's a lot in my town specifically. There's like 3 or 4 different vets. So there's generally a good shot. And I know 2 emergency vets that are specifically for emergencies that are within 10, 15 minutes of my house. Luckily, we haven't had to use the emergency vet, but it's good to know that we have a couple options. Yeah, we've got, well, where I live, unless you know where the little boundary lines are, you could be driving through 3 separate towns and you'd still think you're in one. They just kind of blend together. But the one is in the next little town over, which is literally like a 7-minute drive from my house. And a lot of people I know use that one specifically because of how good they are. A good friend of mine, Joe, highly recommends that place if you have an emergency. But that might be the busier of them too. But yeah, there wasn't even something I was thinking about. I just noticed one day that there's a good number of veterinary practices like close to our house. Finding an exotic animal vet is a different story. And again, with the snakes, luckily there's enough information out there where a lot of times the people that have the animals know more than the regular veterinarian, unless they're, an exotic vet. They don't really have experience with cold-blooded animals. Yeah, no, they're hard to find, man. I'm sure they're a little more prevalent now because, I mean, the reptile keeping community is a pretty big community, but they're still they're still pretty hard to find. Some people are. I know of one guy that went back to school to learn some, uh, bird, more in depth bird and reptile shit, just to help out. His existing customers. Kids got a fucking boa constrictor or an iguana or something. But yeah, especially like where I lived before I moved here, like they had more large animal experience because of the number of farms, horse farms, and dairy farms, or dogs and cats. That was their area of knowledge. And yeah, I got laughed at when I wanted to bring a snake in because the guy's like, I don't know what the hell I'm even looking for. I'm like, all right, dude, never mind. So I just nursed the fucker back to health myself. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, Yeah, I'm sure. It's good knowledge to know either way, Goss. Yeah, yeah, sad as hell. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to not at least take a look, you know? A quick fucking assessment of what the fuck is up. Yeah, me too, man. My heart literally is breaking. It's gut wrenching. The one downside to having a dog. Yeah, I'm sure it was all fucking very alien to him. I know my dog Bud didn't like going to the vet. He liked getting in the car. He didn't like the vet, but once he got in there and he smelled and heard other dogs, he wanted nothing to do but find where they were and see what they were up to. And he was 130 pounds, so he frightened my old man vet. He's like, hold on to him tight, like really get down there and like hold. Dude, he gave him his shots. He didn't even flinch. But yeah, I wish they lived forever too. Yeah. See, that does definitely make it worse. I had a I had a dog that was fucking allergic to fleas, and I got her from my uncle. She was cool. I never knew anything about any allergies. Um, and we moved up to Saratoga, and there was sand fleas all over the yard. They're like bigger than normal fleas. We couldn't even really go out in the yard. I'd have to like put her in the car and go down the street. But some got on her, and she ended up having a bad allergic reaction. And we took her to the vet, and by the time we got her, she had the reaction. She was basically covered in fleas. Somebody had let her out into the backyard when I wasn't home a couple of days before. So we get her to the vet, and yeah, it was we couldn't do nothing for her at that point. Like whatever they gave her, they did try, but it didn't work, and that was sad. She was the best dog I ever had. But yeah, and you feel helpless. That's the worst fucking feeling in the world. That's probably good, Blue. It'll probably do you good. Yeah, she never had any kind of fleas. I mean, we hiked outside all the time, like never had a problem. But the sand fleas are a different beast. Those things are fucking relentless. Yeah, I knew you were. Yeah, maybe Blue. I don't know. No one else is doing anything. I might. Alley Cat is off tomorrow. If I'm lucky, she'll be not on camera because she doesn't like to be on camera, but she might. She might talk with us. I'm not holding my breath, but I should try that. I'm sure people would like it. People that know her anyway. And I mean, I'm sure you guys that don't would like her. Oh, there you go. Push it around. I think you're just trying to get to the food, weren't you? It's an idea, or at least more often. Uh, okay, I can't do that right now. Or on some kind of schedule. I should just get a cheap ass phone and leave it fucking running on the tank. I don't know. I kind of like this camera on this one though. See if I upgrade, if I can keep this one going, at least just for this. Oh, geez. Yeah, it would be tough for me to keep my composure live going through what you're going through right now. So yeah, you made the right call. Yeah, that wouldn't be easy. That wouldn't be an easy thing to say out loud. I'm sure it's not easy to type. I would probably be rude to someone who asked me that. It would help me forget my worries for a minute, but they would get an unexpected and probably undeserved tongue lashing. Yeah, yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's not something. Yeah, that question was asked without any thought. I think you know. Yeah, that's a hard and immediate no. Nope, this is the perfect spot, Blue. All right, Goth. See you later, buddy. Absolutely. You're more than good here. Yeah, we are. We like I especially even the ones that don't love me back, I love bet more than most people. So I love my animals. Well, you would do the same for us, Blue. So yeah, Kathy. I mean, Two of my three brothers don't even know where I live, so that says anything about how much more I like my pets. But yeah, like I'll definitely, like, if you hit my kid and then kick my dog, you're catching two beatings. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna whip your ass for both of them. Not at the same time. I'll beat the shit out of you, and then I'll pick you up and dust you off and beat the shit out of you for kicking my dog. Like, yeah. Well, absolutely. Yeah, we got a 20-year-old little miniature pincher, and I'm honestly surprised she lived this long. Like, she's the fucking Energizer Bunny, man. All right, Blue, give him a kiss from us. Hi, Trisha. Yeah, unfortunately, Trisha. Yeah, they say the good die young, man. Hopefully, I've done enough bad to not. Not that I'm enjoying getting old necessarily. Yeah. I worked with this old man. He was like 85 years old, and he was in better physical health than my grandfather. And he looked to my grandfather's age, which was 65, and my grandfather looked to be 85 like him. It was amazing. But yeah, that old man just went to sleep when he was about 90 years old and didn't wake up. Never smoked, never drank, lived a good, clean farm boy life his whole life. Yeah, that's the best case scenario. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, I'm still recovering. I need more naps. Now you can't. Biting in the ass. Yeah, he's here. He's here. He's been working on that bunch of pothos roots right there, because the little thing I have the plant in is just a piece of pool noodle, and I had it wedged up under the bracket like that, so it stayed there. It wasn't, moving a whole lot, but he's been grabbing the roots and swimming to the left of the tank. Yeah. And then he comes and hangs out like, oh, nothing's happening. I'm not doing nothing. I don't know how well you can see him, but yeah, he's right there. Fucking glare sucks. But yeah, he does his thing. I put these plants in there yesterday. They're they're like an epiphyte. They grow on the rocks and stuff. They don't like to be planted in the dirt, so I wedged them between the rocks, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping he doesn't decide to pick them up and start moving them around. Yeah, he's a really pretty fish. I mean, I see him every day, but even now, like, I'll sit here at night before I turn the lights off, and just stand here and look at him for like 10 minutes. Like, yeah, I see, well, even though I see him every day, he's still kind of once in a while, it's like, damn, that is a good looking fish. Yeah, I got a brighter light. I don't know if I want to put two on there because he likes having that dark side. But the other light will be better for the plants, and it's going to make the dark side much brighter than it is now. It's still going to be darker, but it's not going to be as dark. So I might have to put uh, another planter like that one. I made it just out of like a plastic silverware divider from the kitchen, little individual tray. Um, and I could make another one of those and put some cuttings in it and just kind of make a little shade, a little more shade on that side. But I'd have to rearrange some of the plants that are already here, which needs doing anyway. But yeah, I like just watching him, especially when he's just moseying around. Like sometimes he'll just swim around and like investigate different corners of the tank. When I'm standing here, he kind of just does the hide for a while and come back out and beg for some food in the in between. I would love it if the catfish would come out more. They start like swimming around and it almost looks like they're wrestling each other. I think they're just trying to jockey for the best piece of food closest to them, but it's still kind of cool. And they're good looking fish too. They just like to hide a lot. I mean, the one is out most of the time, but he's on the dark side and he's up against the back next to the heater. And it's tough to see him on camera. I could barely see him looking in there. Yeah, I think he does get bored. I was talking earlier with Blue Topaz. I'm thinking of getting a small peace lily or taking a piece off of the one I have and putting it in a 4-inch pot, and modifying pool noodle to make it work. And because they grow up, they'll grow out, but the plant itself grows upward. It doesn't vine or anything, so it'll probably stay fairly stable. Yeah, the catfish like it in the dark. The biggest one, at least what I believe is the biggest one, hides out under this big flat rock here. And the one that hides by the heater will hide under there or under this little rock thing here. But the third one keeps this little thing to himself. He just went back in. I saw him out for a minute, but he doesn't come out much either. But yeah, they like to stay where it's dark. I'm kind of getting tired of all the vacuuming I was going to look into seeing if I could just take all the sand out, how the catfish would like a bare bottom, but I don't like the way it looks. And I would still have to vacuum it because the stuff is still going to collect on the bottom. It's just going to be a little bit easier because there wouldn't be sand. But I like the way the sand looks, and it's not that big of a pain in the ass. Besides, I want to put more plants, so I need the sand in there to hold the plant roots in. Unless I want to do them all in pots like the bamboo, but I really don't want to do that. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye for now, fuckers. I'm going to have to go get my girlfriend from work. Thank you all for stopping by. It was great seeing y'all. If you hear me, Spirit, I hope everything works out good with your pup. Like everyone said, we're all pulling for him. But catch you next time, fuckers.